Show's already in progress, so sorry that y'all missed the first half. Shit be like that sometimes, whatever. I'll try and do my best to link the Instagram video and this part of it moving forward into the YouTube video. I'll see what I can do with my editing magic. But we're having a conversation about relationships and rewards, and are people always seeking rewards, and why don't people have conversations about the rewards that they're seeking? Another term could be reciprocity, but I think reciprocity is too easy to let people off the hook. I think reward is a bit triggering. So that's how we're gonna have the conversation. Julie, what were you? Oh, Julie, you drinking your Gatorade?
Yeah, I'm trying to stay hydrated.
Okay. So what were you saying though?
I don't know why I don't like that kind of communication.
That's what all communications are though.
Right, but specifically that kind of like, you really want something else, but you have to open it with something else. I'm not good at that.
People don't want to feel used. Right? Like Casey, this dude texts Casey 4 times. She ain't writing back. Right? She ain't hitting back. For whatever reason. It could be legit, could be I was busy, I was doing whatever the case may be. For her to hit him back and be like, what's up with the videography thing? He's going to like that plane is going to crash on the runway in the ocean. So she hits him with a hey, and she probably put 3 or 4 Y's in it. So it's like, hey, soften him up a little bit. So Cindy, you had your hand up. What you was gonna say? You were gonna say yes?
And problems. I tell you, they don't like me. I was gonna say that it wouldn't hurt to, when they ask you a question and you think that they want something out of it, like, okay, what is your intention behind this? You could just ask instead of, assuming the wrong answer and then feel like crap for assuming the wrong thing. You could just be upfront with it.
That's well, okay. That's a legitimate point. But so now that we have an actual case study, we have 2 case studies. We have chicken noodle soup and we have videographer guy. See how I do that, Julie?
Where's
Casey,
the crackers?
so Casey, you wrote the guy. You like, hey, hey, what's going on, whatever. What if he wrote you back and was like, what are your intentions with responding to these text messages at this point? What would you be?
I would have said, well, my intention was to see how you're doing, haven't spoken with you in a bit, and to see if you're available on the 16th
The 16th
of April.
Y'all funny as shit. Julie, why are you shaking your head?
And that's a lie.
What's a lie? The first part? So you feel like she should just cut
Yeah, if he's okay. I do care if he's okay.
Cut to the chase.
Yeah, but that could have been the icebreaker, though.
Yeah, but Julie, there's like a small fraction of the world that responds to like direct communication the way that you enjoy it. I've had people tell me, at least pretend like you care that I'm alive. Like, can you at least say how you doing before you jump into the request?
Yeah, I agree. I don't like we have to have a certain level of rapport for you to just hit me up and directly ask for something, right? Like
Agreed.
any of y'all could hit me up, like, if you shot me a DM, if any of y'all shot me a DM and just got straight to the point, I'm cool with it, right? Like we talk every day. It's like you don't need to know how I'm doing, right? I'll tell you if it's shit's fucked up. But I don't like for people that I don't know to just walk up to me and just direct, even like, because as a police officer, as an officer, people expect you to always be prepared to do what it is they want you to do. Right. And they don't see the human, they don't see the man, they see the purpose that they have for you. Right.
Yeah.
So they'll come up and they say, hey, how do I do blah 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 blah? I'm like, hey, how you doing today? And they're like, oh, I'm sorry. And then I'm like, I'm chilling. What would you need? And then they ask for it, but they just see you as there's a word, I can't think of it.
As
It's
a
like
utility almost.
as a utility, right? Or like as a means to an end, or just they don't see a person.
And people are shocked.
What?
What'd you say?
What's Kate? So now Casey gotta go out with him so she can get her free stuff.
No, I've worked with him for 2 years. It's not that. I was just saying that out of jest, but I don't know what he wants to do this weekend. He says he has tickets, the Variety Playhouse, but it could be we haven't seen each other in a while. He's done all of my videography stuff, but I do notice that he flirts with me from time to time. So this could be his opportunity to finally say, "Hey, let's see what happens." So
Okay, Julie, what's your response to that? Because you were trying to.
Tell her what you just told us a few minutes ago
Which part?
about men.
What, him wanting something?
Exactly.
She know he wants something. She know he like her.
She, she just said she don't know. She hasn't seen him in 2 years.
He just texted her. He texted her 4 times.
So does she like him?
I don't not like him, but I've never spent any time with him outside of the event to know if he's somebody I could spend personal time with. So I like him enough that I would go to the show to see. But
That's good. So, but you don't. When is the last time you said you saw him?
oh, it's probably like September, October.
So it's been almost 6-7 months, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody wants something. That's what it comes down to. Cindy about to get her videographer. If he plays cards right, he gonna go a little further down the Casey Kane rabbit hole, and then we'll see where it goes.
Look, I would also just say this, and y'all can call me what y'all want to call me. My mama, my auntie, and my grandma taught me how to use what you got to get what you want. So I have had folks who have shown some interest in me, who have flirted shamelessly with me, and I'm like, oh, okay, you want to go out? I need you to come set this equipment up over at the Hay House for the boys for their podcast. You come do that, then yeah, I'll have a conversation with you. I'll go to dinner with you. You're not going to tell me you want something from me, and then I'm not necessarily going to make you prove it, if I could say it that way. So there are times where I'm like, yeah, I know he wants to hang out with me. I don't know what his end goal is, but I'm game. But in the meantime,
You know what the end goal is.
in the meantime, you can come and do X, Y, and Z. And if I really am not feeling that person, then no, I don't want you to do anything for me at all. Nothing.
Okay. So why would you? I'm having multiple thoughts. You said y'all can say what y'all want to say about me or something like that. Do you
Yeah.
think that some people view people like or women in that way because they're getting something in return? Like to me, people always want something in return.
I think so. I think when women are probably a little bit more vocal about it, I think people's minds just go to the
You think
extreme.
so?
Yeah, I mean, at least in conversations I've had, because I think people's minds go to the extreme of, well, what is it that they want? And it's not, sometimes it really is like, let's just go hang out. And at the end of it, we realize there's no spark there. Like we enjoyed our time, but we don't want to date each other, but we never would have known that had we not gone out. And I don't see anything wrong with knowing that this man wants to be in my presence and spend time with me. Then for me, it's almost like give them the opportunity, especially if they put forth the effort. Because I will be put off if a man just walked up to me and said, this is end goal. I want to have sex with you. Like you
Right.
for sure not gonna talk to me.
Right.
Right. So, let's start with the phone number. Let's start with a coffee date. Let's start with some conversations. But even though I know in the back of my mind this may be what you want, you're going to put some effort in. And at some point, I got to give you the opportunity to put the effort in.
Okay. I see you, Cindy. Well, I asked this thought because I lost it and I got it back. Is there a class of men that don't have to give you something in order to get your attention?
For me personally, or a general statement?
I really want to know more so in general, you know what I'm saying? But I'm asking a one person, right? Or 4 or 5
Yeah.
people. But I'm just
I'm
thinking,
gonna say honestly, in general, I think if women are honest, yes, there's a certain class of men who probably are financially, not just financially stable, but wealthy and rich that they believe can give them their heart's desires.
Mhm.
They probably are not gonna have to work as hard as just a good, solid guy.
So
In
that's
general.
I'm with you. I'm with
Yeah.
you. That's what I was thinking is the general truth.
Yeah.
Um, then that means we would delve into the power dynamic, right? Like is who thinks they have the most leverage in this negotiation. So
Mm,
the rich guy would be under the impression that he has more leverage.
correct.
So I don't have to, I don't know, Casey, I'm not coming to put anything together. Like, I'm rich, what are you talking about? It can change your life, right?
And my responsibility will then cut the check so I can go hire somebody.
Right. Been ready. Who got all the wind in their mic? What's up, man? How you been? What you outside? Man, roll the window up. Hold on 1 second. What's up? So we got Cindy. Cindy, what you got? Hot dog said men that are fine.
No, I was actually going to tell my story that I had of just this particular situation that we're talking about now that I walked in on.
Okay.
So,
Tell the story.
okay. So this guy, right? Okay, we have a past. We're friends with benefits, right? This is when we were both single and whatever. Well, he got into a relationship. That was the end of that. Didn't talk to him for a long period of time. Then all of a sudden, out of the blue, he says, "Hey, how you doing? Are you doing all right?" I'm just like, "Yeah, I'm doing okay. No big deal." He goes, "Well, do you need anything? Do you need anything?" I'm like, "No, I'm good." Okay. He goes, "I sure miss our conversations instead and what we used to do and how we used to kick it and stuff like that." I'm like, "Yeah, those were good times." And then a couple days later, "Hey, how you doing? You need anything?" I'm like, "No, no, I'm good." He's like, "Oh, okay, that's good." And then I'm like, "Okay, I'm having I'm having troubles. Maybe I should take him up on that." Um, so he's like, "Oh yeah, I can help you with that, no problem." Well, then that one we didn't need to fix, but the second problem, I took him up on the offer, and then he started bringing up the past again and how we used to kick it. And he goes, "Would you ever do that with me again?" And I'm like, "No, no, I'm not really in the mood. I haven't been in the mood for a relationship or friends with benefits. I just want to be
Did he
alone.
fix
I
the
got so
car?
much going on."
Did he fix
Huh?
the car?
Yeah.
See, he didn't play
So
his
he's
cards
like,
right. Casey, he didn't play his cards right.
so then he brings me the money to fix my car, cut my tires. And I said, "You are awesome because I will pay you back." Thankfully, I filed my income taxes, so I get a refund because of that COVID check that anonymously came out. Anyways, it got me some nice chunk of change, but I'm gonna pay him back and I'm gonna call it a day. But he still wanted to do what we used to do, and I'm like, "No, I'm not feeling it because it seems like you only call me when you want that, or like whatever." You know what I mean? So I was like, "Okay, well, I'll pay you back, but I'm not going to sleep with you to get the money."
Benefits me.
Ben Ready, and Julie, both of them essentially said, "Isn't that what friends with benefits do? They hit you up when it's time for the benefits."
But I don't want the benefits no more. I don't want the benefits no more, but I do need his help.
So he didn't play his cards right.
Hell no, it don't work like that.
Well, it works that way for me because I'm not, I don't feel him attractive anymore.
You
I
help
never
him.
really did.
So it's a give and take.
So Ben Ready said,
You're being selfish, and no, he's giving you what you want, but you ain't giving him what he wants in return. It
so
don't work like that.
And there's nothing in writing that says I have to put out just to get money from him. I can pay him back and he'll get his money back. So the gesture was returned. He did a good gesture to help me out with my car. I'm paying him back instead of stiffing him. But I'm not going to be a prostitute and sleep with him for the money to fix my car. Oh, hell no. No, that ain't happening, dude. Not on my time. Not on my watch. I got more dignity than that. Sorry. But I get what you're saying, though. I get it.
All right, hold on, Cindy. Hold on. Ben Ready, what are you trying to say?
What it is, she's not being she don't want to be a prostitute, right?
Oh
But
boy.
yes, right. People don't.
Hold on, Ben Ready. Who's?
People don't.
I can't hear you, dog.
When you're dating or you're in a relationship, that's basically what it is.
Oh my God.
People don't want to call it that. But technically,
Hey, Ben Ready.
that's what it is.
Your phone ringing, so it's going. You messing up the audio, dog.
Yeah. I stopped it.
Yeah.
I stopped it.
All right, but you were still talking. I want to be able because I want to be able to get what you're saying. So start over.
Basically, when you're in dealing with someone in a relationship, that's what it is. It's you're having sex with that person in exchange for
Just answer the phone, dog.
Or not. That's what it is.
So you're
paying directly or indirectly.
okay. I got you. So you're saying that you think Cindy was being selfish by allowing that dude to give her the money or to fix her car. Hold on. Because y'all gotta understand it's even more difficult for me because I'm having cross conversation. So like I need silence on one side while I'm talking to the other. But you're saying that. So let me ask you this, Ben Ready, just yes or no. Do you think that she knew that that's what he wanted some?
Yes. Exactly.
Okay. Yes. So and you're saying because she knew what he wanted and didn't have any intent of giving him what he wanted, but still got what she wanted out of the deal, that makes her selfish.
Yes, basically.
Okay.
Because
Okay. Hold on. You don't have to. Hold on. So that makes her selfish. Now, a long time ago, we had a conversation about if a woman knows a man doesn't want to be in a relationship, right? And the guy still gets what he wants from her, is he being selfish? And Julie said yes. And everybody else said, nah, that's on her. So isn't that on him?
Yes.
Okay.
I agree with Julie.
Okay, I got you. If I thought
No, he didn't.
if I remember that conversation, correctly. Ben Ready, hold on. Everybody stop. Everybody. Not
I would have known the 1 in a million time where you and I would have agreed. You did not agree with me on that day.
Yes, I did. If you listen to what I'm saying, everything is given a take, right? And everything comes down to money. When it's all said and done, everything in life comes down to money. So with that situation, yes, she wanted to get her car fixed or whatever fixed, and he wanted to have sex in return, but she didn't want to have sex with him no more. But so she got her car fixed, and he didn't get no sex.
And that's messed up. That you think that's selfish on her part, right? Yeah. Okay. Yes. So I understand your perspective, right? If a guy knows that a woman wants to be in a relationship, right? He knows she wants to be in a relationship. And he takes advantage of that, just like Cindy did with the car. Does that make him selfish if he's not willing to give her the relationship? But he's willing to get the cookies from her, but he's not willing to be in a relationship with her.
Yes.
You're saying he's selfish also?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna have to go back and find that one because I could have sworn we was in there arguing about it.
Okay, because he changed his tune now, because that's not what he said. I just think that since Cindy labeled the dude as a friends with benefits at the beginning of her story, I figured she knew what time it was when he called her.
She did, but because of the time lapse, he wasn't on his game in terms. He was supposed to get the confirmation as to whether or not he could get some before. But that goes to what Ben Reddy is talking about in terms of him not wanting to feel like it was a transaction for that which he really wanted. So he skipped that part and he took an L because he wasn't willing to be straightforward. I agree with you, Tori. I disagree that everything is about money. I disagree with that, but I understand Ben Reddy's premise. Hold on one second, because Pod done had his hand up for a while. Pod, you did?
Yes, sir. Cindy, you know I love you like a sister from another region. Listen, 2 things you messed up at. And Ben Reddy's stupid. I always tell guys the thing like that, he's stupid. 2 things you didn't do right. You know that you had a friends with benefit with him. So what you should have did when he came back around the first time, you should establish that, hey, I know we cool, we did this, and not like that no more. With guys, you got to reiterate that off front, and sometimes more than one time. But when you iterate that to them, you are established the financial. Listen, we have friends with benefits. I'm not on that. We ain't gonna do that. Now I got a little issue. Can you help me out? I'll pay you back. You can work that, but you have to iterate with them guys because men are stupid. I always tell the secret about men. We are stupid. If you let us get our way, we're gonna keep getting away. You could be 20 years from now, but we're gonna try to think and get our way again. So that's where you messed up by not establish that foundation. Like, listen, I know we did our 1-2. It's different now. I ain't on it. I'm in a little bind. I will pay you back. I got something coming. I just need a little help before it comes. If you can, I got you. That's what you establish. And don't listen to Ben Reddy because he leads with his money, which he don't have. And I had to go on my little rant. But like I said, yeah, when women, and then there's a double standard with women. Sometimes I don't like this where women say, he know that I didn't want him, but you still let him do something for you. If you know that you don't want him and you ain't see him in the eyesight, don't let him do nothing for you. Unless you really desire, like if you in a city situation and you could pay him back right away, then you didn't do that. But if you know you ain't gonna try to pay him back, don't let no man or woman, if you're a man, do nothing for you. If you ain't got no good intentions to give them back what they want. Cause that's how you get these guys or women that stalking you, breaking stuff because you gave them an inkling idea, or I could get something by doing this to you. Doing this for you. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
You right away say no. It's nothing like that. I don't like you. You cool, bro. You cool, sis, but you ain't my type of rhythm. You have to tell people that. And when you do that, you still have to. Sometimes they don't get the hint. But if you start off with the foundation like that, they have to respect it or deal with it because you already set the boundaries. But if you don't set no boundaries, they're gonna think what they want to. Okay. This is what guys do.
So Ben Reddy has a retort to Pod. So Ben Reddy, what you got?
Friends with benefit doesn't mean what person talking about. Friends with benefits simply means that we're going to hook up and have sex, whatever, and we're not going to be committed to each other, right? So, yeah, you can do things outside of having sex, but basically, that's the premises of the relationship, is having sex. It's not about all the other things. You know, it's just basically solely, mainly about sex. Yeah, once in a while, you might hang out and kick it with this person or do things. You like boyfriend and girlfriend, but basically that's what that means. I call you up when I'm on and I want them.
Okay.
And you come over here and give it to
them. Okay. But no, you just want to be getting somebody. I had a real friends with benefits. That we ain't do that all the time.
Sexual relationships with each other for quite some time. So some feelings and gotten involved. Now y'all treating each other like boyfriend and girlfriend, but without the title. Yeah. And without the
okay. What's up, Quill?
Hey, what's going on?
How you feeling?
Yeah, you're right, Casey. It's a situationship.
Pod, hold on. Hold on. It can't just be random like that this time. Cause I got 4 people on the Instagram block. Right.
Okay.
So I'll let you talk, but if it's random, it's gonna cut me off.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
So, well, we basically having a conversation about relationships and rewards, right? And how different people expect different things, knowingly and unknowingly. And we've heard a couple stories that pretty much solidify that everyone has an expectation of some type of reward, one way or another. And so, hold on a second. And so, you're a married man. Do you expect rewards for what you do in your marriage?
Hmm.
It's a good question, right?
No, because if I do something, I do it because I want to do it, not expecting anything back from it. Because the reason why I say that is because I think that's why we get disappointed about a lot of things. So I do stuff because I know that I'm doing it, and I'm not doing it expecting you to do something for me. I'm doing it because it's in my heart to do it, and because I genuinely want to do this.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, because I think that that's where a lot of arguments and heartbreaks comes from. It's because people have a certain expectation of somebody, and then when we don't meet it, then you're disappointed. But either you go like, I think I've built enough of a relationship now with my wife that I have an understanding on what I can ask her and what I, you know what I'm saying, what she's capable of doing for me and what she's not capable of doing for me.
Right.
So I think a lot of I agree with a lot of what Ben Red said, because I think what's happening is we have conflated a whole bunch of different relationships and trying to make them one thing. We've tried to make friends, relationships, intimate relationships, and everything else one thing. And instead of you making clear about what you expect from somebody, we imply things and get upset with other people.
All right, so Quill.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree with a lot of what you said. The main part I agree with is that there's a lack of communication that occurs about people's expectations of the rewards are. Now, I think on some level, I think that's intentional. On other levels, I think it's unintentional. And before you came in the room, I was saying, like, I think we all do things in the moment. I'm not saying every time we do something, but we all do things that in the moment we're not consciously expecting to get something in return, right? But it's human nature to, when you are on the opposite side of that and you're the one in need, and if that person doesn't reciprocate, it's human nature to be like, hold up, young, right? Like, I did this for you, and I think that occurs in marriages. I think it occurs in friendships and in work relationships, and business relationships. And it's not until somebody feels taken for granted or slighted that that person realizes that they did actually have an expectation, right? When they did the act, it was genuine, right? It was consciously, it was genuine. Like, you need my help, I got you, right?
Right.
So, your car broke down on the side of the road. You called me and you like, yo, I need your help. I'm not coming to help you for you to help me next week when my car break down, right? Oh, but when my car breaks down, you probably would be one of the people that I call. And in my mind, I'm expecting you to come through for me if you can, because I did that for you.
But I guess the thing that I'm getting at, because I've been studying a lot in Stoicism and in Buddhism.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's our reaction that's the problem. It's not necessarily being upset. It's how you decide to react after said thing happened. So it's like, if it's not going to change the situation, and if I can't force them to do anything about it, either I'm going to be able to come to a resolution with them, or I'm not.
So I'm with you, Quail. I'm with you on the reaction thing, right? Because, but I'm not talking so much about the reaction. I'm talking about the internal experience or the internal expectation that wasn't there before that arises within you. Now, when I could just be like, oh, Quail, it's all good. Don't worry about it, right? Like, but inside of me, there's a part of me that's like, I ain't gonna not come help me out. I might not say it. I might not talk to my wife about it. I might not ever bring it up to you, but it's innate for me to expect for you to be reciprocal when my tire blow out, right? Okay, all right, cool.
I totally agree. I'm not disagreeing.
All right, I got you.
I'm thinking. I guess my whole point is that we have to kind of separate those two things. Though,
I
right?
agree. I agree wholeheartedly.
I just think a lot of times our reaction is so drastic that we can't recover from it. Like a lot of times we do the most drastic thing, and then after a while it's like, look, man, like I shouldn't have went that far with it.
Hold on, but so Quell, I'll tell you this. So I made this point earlier, and then if anybody else wants to go, just let me know. I think because you hit on something that I agree with. It's the lack of communication that causes the problems, right?
Right.
I think in relationships, I ain't talking about like, oh, you my man. I'm talking about male, female, or intimate relationships. There should be more conversations about the expected rewards or reciprocity for that which people do, especially on a day in, day out basis.
Right.
Because use your wife, for example. If your wife, let's say your wife just cook every day, right? And let's say she actually like cooking. Just because she likes cooking and she cooks every day doesn't mean that she doesn't have some expectation of you because that cooking happens, right? And so if she were to say, well, you know, can you, I don't know, can you change the tire? And you like, man, I'm watching the game. There's going to be a part of her that's be like, bro, I done cook every day for the past 30 days. If you don't pause that shit and go change my tire for 15 minutes, we gonna have a problem. Now, I'm with you on the reaction because she may just be like, oh, okay, it's cool. But deep down, when you laying in the bed next to her that night and you trying to rub up on it and she kind of like, I ain't in the mood, it's because you ain't changed that tire.
That goes twofold though.
Absolutely.
Because how I reacted to that was not the right. It wasn't necessarily the right reaction because guess what? Especially not when I know I'm gonna want something from the thing.
Right.
So I have to keep that stuff in mind. I think that's the bigger problem though. It's like why it's so one-sided is because we do this thing of solely focusing on what I have done rather than just saying, hey, this person also brings some value, or this person also does something. So I need to be mindful of that. That doesn't mean I have to do something right then, but I have to have that in mind just in case. Hey, I need something from you.
But
I want something from you. I want you to do something from me.
That's why I said those conversations have to be had because people do things on a day in, day out basis that are just normal duties. And they but that doesn't mean the other person sees that like because your wife cooks every day, it doesn't mean that you view it as her being giving, right? She may in her mind, she like you might be like, yo, you don't give enough. And she like, what are you talking about? Right. So in her mind, she giving, right? And like with guys, like let's say you pay the bills, right? She might be like, you don't do enough for me. And you're looking at the bank statement like Amazon say I do a whole lot for you, right? But it's the way in which we label duties, responsibilities, reciprocity, and rewards. And if you can have conversations to bring those things to the light, then now she knows when she goes to Amazon, you're being given. And when you know she's in the kitchen cooking, she's being given.
We have to stop conflating it too much too, though, because I think what we do is that we take the general principle of a man provides, protects, and does all these things, and we make it one thing, and that means all of these things within a relationship means different because what you and your wife consider in a relationship is different from what's in mine. So I think the whole thing of what I think the bigger problem is, it's just like a lot of people have been gassed up by this conversation. And they don't got a battery in their back, and they like, oh no, I'm not getting my value, so I have to go in my house and put my foot down and da-da-da-da-da. And that's what's happening. Rather than you saying, hey, man, let me actually look at my situation, because I might not even be in that in what's going on in
what they're talking about.
Conversation.
Yeah, I got you. So Casey got her hand up. Instagram can't see Instagram can't see the Zoom. Zoom can't see the Instagram. So Casey, what you got?
Yeah, both of you all hit on it, and it was communication. I think I said this maybe Monday, it was recently, But folks don't have the unsexy conversations about how do you show up one for another in these serious committed relationships. And again, generally speaking, right? I feel like I always make that disclaimer. So most folks are, hell bent on, oh, he makes me feel this way. Or to Quell's point, he does X, Y, and Z. She does X, Y, and Z. But you don't have the deeper conversation of, even if you pay these bills, I'm gonna feel unfulfilled if you still don't give me physical touch, right? Thank you for the bill paying. Thank you for access to your credit card, but I still need you to hold me, to touch me, to say something kind to me. That is going to make me know in my language and how I receive your love. Not that what you're doing isn't important. And yes, please keep paying the bills, right? But if you don't communicate that, then you're going to have conflict. And then he is going to think, but I'm showing you love every single day, but making sure you're safe, you're fed, there's a roof over your head, you get to hang with your friends, you get to shop. And she's like, great, thank you for that, but I still need this. And I just think that people need to communicate more about what it is that you need, in addition to those things that you're going to end up taking for granted, or at least taking as some level of confidence is going to continue in your relationship. And so, the older I get and the more I'm, focused on getting married, it's like, yo, dude, we got to have these conversations, and not always pleasant, right? Sometimes it is a struggle for he and I to sit down and to really be open and honest, but it's necessary, because if we can't understand how we're going to engage with one another, then we're not getting married. I'm not going to set myself up for that. But you got to have the unsexy conversations beyond how this person makes you feel physically, or the butterflies in your stomach, or even how much you may love them. If they're not showing you love in the way that you need or you want, you need to know that before you commit your life to them.
I agree with everything you said, Casey. The only thing I would say, it's not really a retort, it's just kind of like adding on to it, is that I think because we're old enough to have experienced multiple relationships, we're intelligent enough, or have enough wisdom to know how important that is. I think when you're younger, it's a lot more. You learn those things from the relationships where you didn't communicate. Like, you find out how much, because what we do is, and this is interesting, how we take a blueprint of what we think a relationship is, right? Maybe that's from our parents or other people or what society says. And then we try to apply that blueprint to our relationship. And then we find out that the blueprint is just the blueprint. It's not the actual structure. And we start building the structure, you realize, I actually would rather have a wall right here, or I'd rather these windows be 5 feet this way. And if you're trying to force the blueprint into the building that you're actually building, you kind of end up like off balanced and off centered, and you're like, well, this doesn't feel right. But he's checking all the boxes that I had, but that's a lack of self-awareness. You didn't know how much physical touch meant to you, or you didn't know how much being able to buy shit off Amazon meant to you, or you didn't know how much your woman cooking for you meant to you, because maybe you didn't grow up with that. So you were walking around saying, oh, my woman don't have to cook. Then she not cooking, and you like, yo, damn, I feel some kind of way she not cooking. That's not me. Yeah, dog, that's you.
Yep.
Congratulations, you've met yourself. Pod, what you got? Preston?
I'm here. You gonna say, don't call me like my dad.
But that's what I was
gonna say.
Help me call you Preston.
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say this. If you don't do things because you want somebody to do something for you. You do stuff for people unconditionally. Love them unconditionally because you want to. If they do it or not, it's on them. Even in a relationship, even in a marriage. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. It's supposed to be a relationship is give and take, but on your end you just give and you do it ungrudgingly and wholeheartedly, and it'll come back to you. Now, if they don't do it, it's gonna work its way out. Where you'll find somebody that will do the back and forth with you, I mean, willing, but you know what I'm saying, when people do stuff for just to get this reaction out of the person, try to get the same thing out of them, that's where it goes wrong.
I think so. I understand what you're saying, Pa, and I think that's a good principle. I think it's unrealistic of humans to work in that way, to work in that capacity 100% of the time. But what we're talking about is a little bit deeper than just doing something for someone and having the expectation for them to do the exact same in return. We're talking about the underbelly of the human psyche, which has a deep, deep desire for reciprocity, connectivity, and fairness, right? So while Pod may do something for someone out of the kindness of his heart and with no conscious intent of getting anything in return, it's human nature to, when you're in need and you know that person has the capacity to help you, it's human nature for you to pick up the phone and call that person, right? And that inclination, whether or not you act on it, is irrelevant in terms of the conversation that we're having. That inclination is what shows you the human desire for fairness, reciprocity, and all of those things.
Okay,
So,
I get what you're saying. Yeah, okay.
you understand what I'm saying? So
yeah, no. I was gonna say, if I've been through that, I just went through that when I helped my best friend out in certain areas, and if my time in need, she has there. You just gotta find. Hopefully, you can run into somebody with the same mindset and same heart as you. You know what I'm saying? That's in that aspect. You just got to find the right person that can return the same thing. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta, because some people, I get what you say. So you expect somebody to help you when you down, because you help them when they down. But some people,
right. But what I'm saying is, in the moment where you're helping them, you're not thinking about it like, I'm going to do this because when I need them, they're going to do it for me. That thought doesn't necessarily cross your mind. It doesn't cross your mind until you're the one in need, and you know for a fact that they can help you, and you're like, well, damn, that's even better, because I just helped him out with this last week. So I know that in theory, we all have this thing where we expect people to be who we are, right? So because Pod is the type of person that will go to the ends of the earth for somebody, when Pod needs someone to go to the ends of the earth for him, he's most likely going to call the person that he went to the ends of the earth for. Or at least that's going to be one of the thoughts that crosses your mind.
Right. In my own situation, learning that at the end of the day, I learned that no matter if I do that for the person and think they're gonna do it, I always need to trust God regardless. That's what God showed me with my friend. Like, you thought she's gonna do the same thing like I do, because God only one returns his favor. You know what I'm saying? God's the only one that never fails me. So I learned that, meaning, like, even though I do stuff for people and love on them, help on them, I can't put my trust in them to do the same, because they are humans. You know what I'm saying? They can let me down. So I gotta always keep my faith in and my trust in God. And so if they don't help me, he had my back. He will have somebody help me. But yeah, you're right. I probably stepped away from that. Yeah.
No, you good. You good. It's like it's a layered conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have a principle that if someone asks me to borrow money, I don't expect to get it back.
I know a lot of people that do that.
I just don't expect to get it back. You know what I'm saying? If you pay me back, cool. If you don't, I think there's been one time where I loaned somebody money and I was like, listen, and this is after I've given you a boatload of money already, and I'm dipping into something that is already earmarked for something very important. But since we cool, I'm gonna look out for you. Hey, listen, normally, I don't ask you for the money back. Dog, I need my money back, and I need my money back in 2 weeks, right? But that's the one time. Other than that, if you ask me for money and you say, yo, Chell, can I borrow $50? Yeah, here you go. If you give it back, you give it back. If you don't, cool. I'm never gonna hit you up and be like, hey, dog, I need that $50. Now, that's not to say I can never be in a situation where I won't need to borrow money, right? And what I'm saying is, naturally, my mind is going to go to all of the people who owe me money, right? But that wasn't my intent when I gave it to you, because I don't want to expect to get it back. I don't want it to ruin our relationship. Go about your business. If you give it back, cool. If not, we still good. I still love you the same. So, Casey, you had your hand up, right? Instagram, if y'all got something.
You already said it. That's why I pulled my hand down.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. I stole your thunder.
I had a few people, a guy I listened to on YouTube, and I think my uncle said it, but you don't lend money you can't afford to lose.
Mm-hmm.
And so I treat that every aspect of my life. Because guess what? Like I got the principle that we borrow people. We don't own them in a certain way. Like we share a certain amount of time with them. And we share ourselves with other people. You know, the people that you know we're in relationship with our friends. So you treat your time like money. If you can't afford it, if you don't want to lose the time, then you don't give the time to somebody. But if you once it's gone, it's gone. Like you can't get it back. So there's nothing to get upset over.
Talking about time.
Yeah, your time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
like your time, your effort, your energy, you don't get any of that back.
Right.
So you might get upset about it for the time being, but to mull on it and link and to blow up the way that we do.
Right.
Like we blow up a lot about a whole bunch of things. And it's like, look, what can I do about this?
Right.
And can I get it from this person? That's why I would agree with Preston about is like a lot of times we try to, and I've said this before, we try to get people to be who we want them to be, rather than allowing them to be the natural person who they are. And our feelings are our feelings. Just because I love somebody doesn't mean that they should love me back.
Right. Right.
So you know what I mean? So I just think we have to rethink how we view relationships, because we're taught to selfishly love people instead of like, all right, I'm gonna put this out, and if I get it, and if I get the love back for you, that's a blessing.
Right.
Like it's a blessing if I get it back, but it's not a requirement.
Right. Right. I think that's what's difficult for all of us, because I think it goes against our natural desire for fairness. Right. That's the difficult thing, and that goes to what you're talking about, like the Stoicism, the Buddhism, that's what I talk about, being transcendent of your thoughts and emotions. Right.
Mindfulness.
Right. Mindfulness. Right. Like the one thing, if I could tell you I've learned anything from doing the lives for the past 2 years, is like how attached people are to their opinions. Right. And while I'm attached to my opinions, I'm good at not being so attached to my opinions that it can ruin my ability to understand someone else's opinion. You know what I'm saying? But you had these conversations all the time, and you realize like, damn, like it's difficult for people to come up off of their opinion. It's super hard.
And I used to be one of those people, but it's like I learned that more times than not, I tended to be wrong when I was trying to be absolutely right. Absolute. There's no absolutes, and I got more out of life being open to at least hear somebody and take what I need out of the information. That doesn't mean I gotta accept everything that someone says.
Right.
But I get to choose what I ingest and what I put into me, and I think this is really hard, because I think a lot of people are afraid. I think that this is one guy. I listened to Alan Watts, and one thing that he was saying, that he was like, it's fun to have like a religion when you're not attached to it. When you can have it without having a personal attachment to it.
Right.
When you can have it, then it's fun to have it, because it's not your all. It's not your whole being. And I think that's what gets me, because I used to be one of those like Bible thumping type people, and I don't have anything wrong. I don't think it's wrong to have a belief, but when you can be easily triggered by the slightest thing, and that's why it's so easy for people to be able to go people on like that, because you're so attached to it that you can't see anything else other than what you believe.
Right. So I'm an Alan Watts fanatic too, right? I got like 8 hours of his talks to like chill out music or whatever. And I see you, Dr. Huck. He has this one where he talks about how people use religion as a boat, right? it like, I was listening, I was like, damn, this is kind of deep. And basically he's like, you're standing on one shore, and your objective is to get to the other shore. You need the boat to get across. And he said what happens is we all get on the boat on the shore that we don't want to be on, and then we get into the water and we decide we're just gonna stay on the boat, right? we just gonna stay on the boat. And this is the way I'm paraphrasing, summarizing his point. He's like, religion is the boat. You know, he's like, we stay on the boat and then we just start living on the boat. And we forget that we were supposed to be using this to become who it is we're supposed to become and do the things we're supposed to do. But people get so caught up in the boat that they forget about the actual final destination. So that's a good one. I had to send you some of the joints I got. Dr. Hawk, what you got? It's almost 8 o'clock.
Hello, everybody. Hello. So just listen to you guys help me come to, I guess, my response. And I guess the way you framed it to Quell, when it comes to rewards in a relationship, I want to say like those expected or maybe non-negotiable rewards that have to be there. You know what I'm saying? Respect, commitment to the relationship, and the responsibility. And not just commitment to the relationship, commitment to the family and the responsibility. We both need to be responsible. But then those other rewards that we really don't have control over, of how our spouse or our significant other sees us, is like we really can't control how much a person loves us, but that's a reward. Because, you know, if a person does love you, the idea of the happiness, right? Because we really can't make someone else happy, and nobody can make us happy. But, you know, a reward is if we are both happy in the relationship. And then the other thing is when you have someone that's disciplined, you are not responsible for somebody else's actions. But when you get a person who's committed to being disciplined in a relationship, that's a reward. So, I mean, and then the companionship in and of itself is a reward in a relationship. So
you said we can't control, how'd you say it? We can't control certain how'd you say it?
you can't really control the things of these other people. Like, we can't control how much somebody loves us. Like,
okay, right. So I got you. So, but what I was pondering on, I'm not giving you like pushback or anything. I was just thinking like, can we control any of it?
Like, technically, you really can't control none of it, but there's some things that, and this is just for me, for Asia, like to be in a relationship, that these are the things that have to be there. These rewards to be in a relationship
They gotta
have to be there for me to say, this is a relationship that I'm staying in.
Right.
And that's the respect, the commitment to the family and to me, and the responsibility. You have to be a responsible and adult.
Right.
We still don't really have control over that, but those are those non-negotiables, like for me.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, but at the same time, some other rewards that you pray will be there, right?
There's no guarantee.
It's right.
Well, hold on. Well, it sounds like you're saying you have your rewards that are non-negotiable, and then you have your rewards that you would like to have, but there's no guarantee that you're going to get them, but they're not deal breakers.
They're not deal breakers. The relationship can still last or be successful with those non-negotiable things, in my opinion.
So I agree with you. I would add that I think that because your non-negotiables are what they are, right? So they just are what they are. I think what happens in a lot of relationships is, let's say you have a relationship where the non-negotiables are fully present. Those little ones, if they begin to stack up over time, they become a problem. So you're like, that's how people end up in the conversations or the arguments where it's like, I'm doing everything. I'm giving you the respect, right? I'm giving you the dedication. I'm giving you all of the things that Dr. Hawk said. But Dr. Hawk is like, I didn't realize how much important it was for you to rub my feet twice a week. You know what I'm saying? And then that starts to nip at people. And then they realize that it may not be a non-negotiable, but it's important enough to affect the way we begin to communicate with one another and create tension, stuff like that. Like, you ain't touch me, right? Or you're not paying me any attention.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how do you gauge that, Dr. Hope? Because I think that's an important question, because I don't think people know how to gauge between the two.
How to gauge what? What are you asking?
The,
How to gauge
the
what?
negotiable and the non-negotiable.
Right. I don't think people know how to gauge that. I think we conflate them. So how do you
so Dr. Hart, the question is, how do you know that the 3 non-negotiables that you gave are your non-negotiables, as opposed to any of the other negotiables that are out there that you could be like, oh, I'm gonna add this one to it?
Because being in a relationship, those things, when you go back to see, why did this work? Why do I have the results that I have? And you see the things that were present, those ingredients that were present to make it work are those things. So that you see the results. Like, once you tried it and you see the results from it, that makes you say, okay, well, this is a non-negotiable, because I've seen success with these items.
Can I respond to that, Quill? You mind if I respond to that right quick? So I agree with you, Dr. Holt, that it comes from success, right? But I think on a deeper level, it comes from failure and pain, right? Like, you don't know how important respect is to you until you are disrespected. And that's, to me, non-negotiables are born out of pain, right? And then you're like, oh, wait a minute, like, I didn't know. Because everyone has been disrespected at some point, right? It's impossible to go through life and not be, or feel disrespected anyway, right? Okay, cool. But at some point, you experienced a level of disrespect and you were like, oh no, respect just went up to a non-negotiable, right? And then you apply it and it works, and you're like, okay, so the success, the way I see it is, it's born out of the pain. It becomes a non-negotiable. You apply it in a successful relationship, and the success of it is what solidifies it. It gives you like the actual case study, like, okay, this is legit.
And I agree with that, Chels, because I think you have to experience it in both ways, where you see major failure with the lack of that ingredient, and you see the success with the presence of it. So I think having to experience it on both sides,
right,
does, solidify that it is a non-negotiable.
Got you. Well, good talk. You doing voices for Venus? Y'all doing voices? Didn't y'all text me earlier?
Huh?
Y'all text me
Yeah.
earlier?
Yeah. Julie was saying that she was sick. So that means your voices from Venus tonight. Are you able to? I know, is it a work night for you?
I called out sick.
Oh.
Hold up. Y'all don't, hold on now. Just because I called out sick, I could have called out sick to go sit on my porch, and I can't say, I was getting ready to say smoke a cigar, but I ain't smoked in so long.
Tell him, Dr. Hart, that you took the day off.
Julie Bain, we just had a whole conversation about relationships and rewards, right? You did not tell Dr. Hawk that I took the day off just to tell Dr. Hawk I took the day off. He took the day off, so
That means you're available. I'm sorry. Is he available, Lil? Is he able to do voices from Venus?
yeah, actually.
Answer the question.
I don't know. It's rare that I'm off on a Wednesday. I haven't decided. I don't know if I'm doing it.
I'm not even gonna lie.
Oh, he off. He off. Like, everybody got my time just earmarked. Oh, boop. Either which way.
I'll be in the room, but I don't want to talk too much because I sound like this.
What is it? We know what you sound like, Julie. It's all good. Either which way, Voices from Venus is up next. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Comment Beast, get that 66% off on your session with me. Promo code is Beast. In the meantime, in between time, take your power back. Peace.
Peace.
Y'all.